and I barrel it down mid and catch out 2. Catch the Everfrost. Catch the R. Ziggs gets absolutely popped. Yo, what up guys? It's Sol here coming at you with another League of Legends video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to be doing an analysis video, but instead of reviewing another Aurelion Sol player, we're going to be reviewing one of my games that I played on stream. I'll have my stream link up right now. I've been streaming every single day, and by the time this video goes up, I should be streaming with like my birthday stream. So if you want to check that out, let me know. Link is going to be in the description, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So as you can see, I just went down mid with a big star. That's usually what you want to start. Today's matchup is actually going to be a Yone matchup. I know we already did a video on it, but this was a pretty solid game, and this Yone player was a little bit better. As always, runes and op.gg information are going to be in the screen right now. So I asked my stream in the chat today, and they said that they prefer like me analyzing, and so this way I can kind of explain like a little bit more in depth on what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, and just to give you guys a much better learning experience rather than me playing and then trying to talk at the same time. That's like a lot, but this time I can literally just talk about what my thought process is and some decisions and why exactly I'm doing it. So let's get right into the lane. This lane, you basically just want to auto. You really want to be thinking about your first 3 waves in every single matchup you do. In this case, I want to slow push waves 1 through 3 and possibly crash on wave 2 and just try to auto as much as possible, proccing electrocute just like this, and just try to get this wave in and try to get it a bounce back by like wave 3 is what we're aiming for. You also want to take into account what kind of jungler do you have. Is your jungler going to level 2 possibly? In this case, we have a Nunu. I don't think he levels 2s this game. This guy is actually a streamer, by the way. He averages like 200 views or something per stream. So I'll try to put his link in the description as well. It's the Nunu. So we're going to try and crash here on wave 2, it looks like. Usually I like to go for this Raptors ward. As you guys know, the Raptors ward, it really just creates insight on what the jungler pathing is. As you can see, Yone is seen on vision here, so we know exactly where Yone is going. We see he has a blue buff, so he's probably went blue walls into red. So now we have that information with the Raptors ward. And all you gotta do is just press your ward button and you get that much information. It's a pretty solid ward. Now in this matchup, make sure to respect every single time he gets his Q stack. So if you see him glow up, you know how like, see right now, he gets his Q stack. I respect, I'm standing back, don't want to get hit by it. And as soon as he uses it, I can walk back up and start pressuring. So we're just going to let this wave slow push back to me. We're just staying safe still. We want to collect this CS. We see that something's going up on the map though. Nunu and Viego is having a little bit of skirmish. I throw a Maya out and I'm just trying to collect this XP. And guys, pings are very, very, very important in the game of League of Legends. I can't really emphasize this enough. You really just want to spam your pings as much as you can, because the more you communicate with your teammates, the more coordinated you guys will be, and obviously a more coordinated team will have a higher win rate. So make sure you're spamming those ping buttons, especially on Aurelion Sol. If you're roaming towards bot, go max ping. Spam, spam, spam. If your enemy's missing, spam, spam, spam. That's what I recommend to you guys. So once Yone hits level 4 in this matchup, it's kind of hard to win a trade. As you can see, I press W and like I press Q here. It's not really doing much. He has so much sustain. He actually took aggro for that trade, which was not worth. So I'm just going to try and collect this CS under tower. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm just trying to farm up into the mid game, look for roam opportunities, and once I get my first back, that's when I can start doing stuff. This was actually a funny gank. Here comes Nunu. Yone flashes straight into the Nunu snowball, and he just falls. I thought that was a pretty interesting flash on stream. It was a pretty good gank by the Nunu. I just want to point out positioning. Let's do a little replay. As you can see, I hugged top side, so Yone decides to hug bot side, which gives a little bit of a better angle for Nunu to come in, if that makes sense. So if you see your jungler just ganking, just hug the opposite side of your laner so that they are closer to the jungler, if that makes sense. So we're just gonna get a reset here. I actually went for the Sork shoes first back. I mean, normally you should go like boots and seal first back, but in this case we grabbed a kill. We had enough to get full Sork shoes. So in my opinion, it's just really worth, because movement speed on ASOL is just really valuable. So now we're gonna head towards this top fight here. Gonna press Q. We're gonna add an EQ to the play here. And we try to stun Viego. Almost goes down. He just gets out of my star range with that dash, and I try to flash in, but I don't get the kill, which is unfortunate. So I just try to get out here. I try to just juke the Yone Q, but he doesn't even go for it, so it's fine. So we're just gonna do our walk of shame back to the mid lane as my health got a little bit chunked, but it's fine. CS is looking decent right now. It's 33 to 33. In this matchup, you usually tend to fall behind at around 8 minutes, as that's when Yone and Yasuo start coming online. But in this case, we're doing a pretty good job. We collect most of that wave there. I see that a skirmish is going top, so I have to make the decision. Do I want to sack this wave for a kill? And I think it's actually worth, since this guy seems a little bit free. I don't have E or anything, but all I basically do here is I just R for that extra damage, and I actually think it was needed since I believe Trinimer's dash was almost back up. Unfortunately, we did sack a wave, but sacking a wave for a kill is always worth, as long as you get an assist or something like that. I don't know, talking about like sacking waves for roams, it's a really actually interesting topic because there's so many different scenarios in which sacking a wave is not worth, but there are a lot of other scenarios where sacking a wave is worth. Just a general rule is you want to sack your wave when the play that you're about to make is, I'd say, an above 60% success rate. That is my rule of thumb. And if it isn't above a 60% success rate, just don't go for it. It's definitely not worth. You really just make sure to go for high percentage plays every time you sack a wave, because if you end up sacking that wave and you don't end up getting anything, then it's pretty detrimental to your economy. Just try and do as much as I can in this lane, trying to harass Yone, but not working out too well. This was an actually interesting play. So I realized that Yone is off map. I'm not really too sure. We see pings coming out on the map. They try and do something. Yone E's R's towards me, takes our tower aggro, and luckily Lulu there was to shield me, but Yone did fall, so it was kind of an int by Yone, but I think Lulu actually being there saved me, because I'm pretty sure I would have died if I didn't get shielded. Plus the boots there, that extra movement speed really helped me a lot, and I also threw down Ignite, which I think finished him off. We're gonna go ahead and back here. So right here, I'm actually doing the corrupting thing. What you want to do is pretty simple. If you have corrupting pot, just walk out of the base, corrupting pot, walk back in the base, refill that pot, walk out of the base, corrupting pot, and walk in the base, corrupting pot, and it's basically just like it increases your time in the base to heal up slightly, maybe like half a second, but as we know in League of Legends, it's the small things that matter. So if you're doing all of these small things collectively, it will increase you as a player quite a bit. I saw that Malphite here is going for a gank. I tried to land the Q. Doesn't quite work out. I'm pretty sure he should have R'd here, I was saying on stream, but I'm pretty sure if he R'd, that would have been a kill since he has no flash, no R, but he didn't want to go for it, which obviously not the worst thing in the world. Sorry, I didn't cover my back. I actually got a Giant's Belt. I actually want to talk about this, guys. If you aren't going Rylai's first item on ASOL right now, you are absolutely trolling. It's kind of broken, the item, because it's super duper cost efficient with the buffs. The cost was reduced by like 400 gold, so if you rush that Rylai's, you're gonna get an item like way earlier than your enemy laner, especially if you're ahead. So if you're not going Rylai's rush every single game, you are doing it wrong. So make sure you're doing that. We go for bots, but it was actually funny because Ziggs actually just walked into the star there. It was a good look by me, but it shouldn't have landed in my opinion. I think he was trying to get a Q onto my Jinx as she was low. So that's that. And we actually roamed on a cannon minion. As you can see, we're going to soak up this whole wave and it was absolutely nothing. So that's another thing. You want to be roaming on these cannon waves. Cannon waves come every 3 minion waves, I want to say. If you're roaming on a cannon wave, it's just a self-explanatory. If you're running on a cannon wave, you have a longer roam timer, as cannon waves take a longer time to die under tower. And we actually get out here. Do not worry. And we're just actually going to get a reset. 81 CS to 73 CS at 10 minutes, which is pretty solid. Here we have 5 Dark Seal stacks, and as you can see, we're building towards that Rylai's. And you want to make sure you're queuing out of base. Normally, I think you should QW out of base, but it is a lot of mana. So just a Q out of base should be enough. But if you really want to go fast out of base, QW. I'm looking at bot right now. My E is up, and I throw it down. They are pinging. I don't remember if I get a kill here or not. This was a good look onto Viego. I'm trying to go in, but nothing works out. It was a good roam. I think in this scenario, people talk about holding your Q when you E. I actually R for that slow, by the way. It doesn't quite do anything and stuns up Ziggs. This was kind of an int by Yone. It's kind of just whatever. I think he ends up getting out though. A little tip on how to maximize your R's potential. Yes, your R is good for knocking back, like peeling yourself. Yes, your R is good for damage, but your R is actually a really good chase tool. Sometimes that extra slow that it applies from a long range can be the difference between your team getting a kill and your team not getting a kill. So that's just a tip on how to utilize your R. If they're running away, just R for that slow if you think someone can catch up to them. So Malphite's actually going to come down here and we're looking for something. I throw the Q a little bit behind Ziggs. The thing with your Q, guys, is sometimes you just want to throw your Q out, not even like aiming at them. You want to zone the area where they can only walk, if that makes sense, and just throw your Q there. That way they have literally only one option to go, which is to walk back into your team. So that's just another way to use your Q. I was looking for this roam mid, but nothing really happens. So the game is actually pretty even. It's 21.5k to 21.6k as Tryndamere is kind of on a tear this game. We're just gonna get a reset down here, and we do get that juicy Rylai's crystal. 3-0 at 13 minutes. Now, if you look at the difference in items, I grabbed Rylai's here, and my Yone, he didn't even add his mythic. So this is like a small power spike for Sol now with the new Rylai's buffs. So you want to try to utilize exactly when you get Rylai's. So I'm just gonna head to top here. My Jinx, turning on the jets. Remember, guys, you just want to go in the side lane sometimes and just take some time by yourself, soak up that guaranteed golden XP instead of flipping a fight. My Jinx actually gives a huge shutdown here. He was 7-1. He dies. So I just had top lane and I said, okay, my Jinx is dead. We probably shouldn't make any plays. So I go top here and I actually decide not to go for the tower hits because if you look at the vision right now, I actually cannot see anything on the map. I only see Karma there. So I decided to respect it. No one's on the map. I can't walk up for tower hits. Actually ended up saving my life. So I decided to Q towards this dragon. It's just gonna fall. I do drop the E though. Nunu asking for some help. We look for this. I R again. I'm talking about that R for that extra slow. We're kind of being zoned. We don't want to be here. And I just walk in, grab a stun, then Nunu flash goes down. Drop an auto. And I believe we get at least one person here. I think we grab this Tryndamere. I dropped the ignite, dropped the Q, take a couple out tower shots. I actually autoed the tower there. That was kind of interesting, but I believe I just get this kill with a swipe of a W. I flash, dogs the Zigzar, and we easily get out. I just want to reset. Now, you notice me resetting a lot. A lot of people say I reset a lot, like why are you pressing back so much? With ASOL, there are a couple rules to why you should back. 1, item power spike. 2, no mana or no health. And 3, you want to be as far from the enemy as possible if you have your E up. Just because, as we know, Q scales with distance, so the farther you are from the enemy, the better chance you are of hitting a big star and just changing the course of the game. I don't think you guys realize how broken ASOL Q can be. It is absolutely one of the most. And I actually disconnect here because my client crashed. I'll play the clip now. It's really interesting. Dude, my client just exploded. But we are back now. I was only disconnected for like 30 seconds. It was quite the interesting scenario. Just to talk about stars again. You just want to be as far as from the enemy as possible in some scenarios where you can, because having that big star, if that big star can hit like 3 people, even if you're behind, it will change the course of the game, I promise. So if you can find those angles, your win rate will surely rise. Malphite R's this kill when he was dead, which is interesting, but it is what it is. Game is still pretty even though it's 8 to 15. We are behind by 1k gold, which is pretty much due to their towers. My team is fighting mid here. I just wanted to go on the side lane and get some gold for myself, but they decided to force fight. It is whatever though. This is where the game gets a little bit interesting, where we start to throw, but I make sure not to make any crazy plays. So this fight, Yone, R's in, my Malphite, I think he falls to the Yone. Now, I positioned this fight where I stun Karma at the same time damaging the Yone. The reason I do this is because, as we know, Karma has a shield, but if he's stunned up, he can't shield. So, just stun him up, and Yone dies for sure, and we kill both, if that makes sense. I actually go for this look onto Ziggs. I drop the ignite, drop the Q, everything lands, the shield lands, but Tryndamere did finish me off with that extra damage. It was a good look. I just didn't know that Tryndamere was hovering there. We did give the shutdown, but we also did shut down the Ziggs, so it's kind of just whatever. But now this Tryndamere is getting pretty big. The TP is going to come out from Malphite. My Jinx just walks up again, a flash again. Awesome flash, actually. And he's just gonna get run down. Now, at this point of the game, it's 18 minutes. We can call this the mid game. Pretty much the only thing you want to do with Aesol, it's actually pretty simple, guys. Go in the side lane, farm. If a fight happens, E to the fight. That's it. That's literally it, guys. That's how you climb as Aesol. You just go to the side lane, you farm, you get consistent gold, and when there's a fight, just like now, I'm heading towards mid, and I just try to clean it up. I believe I just end up backing, which is quite the int for my team. But this is exactly why you don't want to follow your team all the time. Guys, this is a D1/Masters game, and even like players like this caliber int the game. So I'm sure like people in like your platinum games or whatever rank you are, they're probably really bad players. So just, I don't know, playing solo queue is an interesting concept. You kind of just want to trust yourself only trust yourself, only trust in your ability. Go into every game saying, okay, my team is probably gonna feed. What can I do so that even if they feed, I'll win? And that answer to that is just go into the side lane, get consistent gold, take camps, and just solo carry the game, making consistent smart plays. Now, I had a comment in the last video questioning, like, when I say play smart, what exactly does that mean? Because I do say that a lot, which is a good question. When I say play smart, I literally just mean play smart. I feel like there is really nothing much to it. Playing smart just means taking account of every single tip I tell you guys, like going to the side lane, making smart, consistent plays, getting smart farm, just not getting picked out. That's the definition of playing smart. Just making plays and being places on the map where it's not troll, where you're not susceptible to ganks or anything like that. Just having elite map awareness. Just an example from here. This is an example of playing smart. I shove the wave. I know I have Baron. I know they're collapsing on us, but I know I have Baron recall. We don't go for this tower. I know it's low. I know we have Baron, but we also don't see anyone on the map, and we see Viego on vision, so I just press back. We're not going to greed for the tower. We're going to play it smart, and we're just going to leave. So that is my definition of playing smart. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any more questions about that concept. So we do have Baron, but we're actually behind in gold this game, even though it's 14-20, and we're also falling off with the Nunu, but we do have Jinx, fortunately. But they also have Karma, Ziggs, Yone, and those are all three pretty well scaling champs. So game was actually tough. Again, I'm just matching Yone here, going to the side wave. I have E up. What people don't realize about Aesol is that his E... Oh, I'm actually going to EQ here. I believe this was a little bit troll. Yeah, I get stunned up, I take a little damage, and I drop the ignite also. And my Malphite also gets picked, unfortunately. But we do have this Rylai here, and luckily we can kite the Viego. The R is going to come down from Jinx. And we actually don't get Karma here, and we do fall. This was an example of not playing smart. I kind of just QE thinking I could get a big star into like 2 of them. Actually did not work out, which was fine. I'm now 5-2. Sorry, I haven't been covering my backs, by the way. It's my bad. I ended up going Everfrost second item, which is the general item build you want to go. I'll just give you guys like a general item build that you go like 80% of games. You really just want to go Rylai's Rush first, into like a Sork Shoes, into your Mythic, which is Everfrost I like to go, or if you're facing an Assassin, I'd go Crown. Or if you're facing like a team that builds a lot of extra health, like if you have a Galio mid and like a tankier person top, Leandris. And then you just want to finish off the build with like a Zanya's and that's actually a huge R-bomb in Malphite. I didn't realize he actually did that during the game. We ended up getting nothing. But just to go back to the build, you want to go Zanya's, and then you want to finish off with like a Shadow Flame. And obviously, if you have those 10 stacks of your steel, you want to upgrade to Mid-Shadows. That's just like a general build path I can give you guys that would go, that can be applied to most games. I want to go review this fight again though. So I'm coming to the fight. I try to get a big star down, but I just eated the fight here. I don't go too deep though, and my Lulu actually dies. So this was actually an interesting scenario that I think I played pretty well. Here we have Tryndamere go in, right? He's on my team. He pops the R. We're just doing no damage to him. But I just see Ziggs over here with my sliver of vision. I think to myself, okay, it's 4-1 against the Tryndamere. No one will probably die, and I see a free pick onto the Ziggs here. He also has a shutdown, a 500 gold shutdown. So I just instantly, as you can see, the star is already being postured. Instantly throw the star down. the Q lands, Everfrost R, and it was actually a really solid combo. Now, there's actually an interesting thing with Aurelion Sol star. Bruce Wayne was talking about it on the subreddit. It's called the invisible Q. So I just want to go over what Ziggs actually saw from this play. So this is what Ziggs sees. I'll play it in slow motion. He's just over here. He thinks that he's safe. I throw the Q out, and it actually goes a little bit invisible. So he's like, wait, is this Q towards me? Is it not towards me? And it gives me that extra amount of time to land the Q and grab a kill. So that's just a thing. It's called the invisible Q. Let me know if you guys want me to do a video on it. I can explain it more in depth and like show all the angles for it if you'd like. But the fight is actually going to extend a little bit here. Trimmer actually ended up living, which was interesting. But the shutdown onto Ziggs is it's quite nice. Viego does get caught here though. Luckily, my Malphite doesn't die. Now, the game, we're still behind by 2k gold here. Don't let the kills deceive you. Even though it's 24-19, they also have 2 drags on us. And they are slightly outscaling us, I'd say. But we do have a good team fight. Gonna get a reset here for the dragon. Make sure when these objectives are coming up, as you can see, dragon is about to come up on the map. Make sure you're just resetting, getting these item power spikes, and basically just make sure you're buying your items before big fights, because that is very important. We end up getting Zonya's 3rd here, and Trinimir actually just goes straight into my star, and I blast him out of the sky, so that was a solid pick. And I'm actually taking a lot of camps here, so make sure you're doing that if you want to carry games. Let's go ahead and check out the gold here. I'm at 10,600, where Yone is at 9k, so we have a slight gold lead. Gonna try and QE and grab a pick. I tried to QE this corridor because I thought they would run in, but it doesn't look like they get it. And we just secure this red dragon. Still a pretty close game. 2 dragons to 2 dragons. And this beautiful Nunu is going to give me this clean blue buff. Much love. And I just reset after I grab the blue buff and prepare for these last couple of fights. Hope you guys like my new logo, by the way. My boy made it. Let me know in the comments if you guys like it. It's me riding Aesol. So the next fight is pretty it's gonna be pretty interesting, because at around 26 minutes at this elo, fights start to become very important. Like the gold, they have a 3k gold lead, and the next person to win the next fight pretty much wins the game. I grab a stun onto Ziggs here. I can one-shot him. He doesn't have Zonyas, but I don't know. I didn't really want to go for it just because I know Viego could have burst me. But Trimmer actually dies splitting, which was detrimental to their team. Again, like, even though we're falling behind, like, we're kind of running out of time, you don't see me really panicking here. I'm just trying to make smart plays. I'm not trying to end, just because I'm kind of in the driving seat with this game. Like, if I play well, we'll probably win. If I don't, we'll probably lose, along with the Jinx. So I really cannot afford to make any mistakes, especially this elo. I E towards Viego. Almost pick him out with a star. I do grab an Everfrost proc though, but nothing quite happens. Now we're looking for this Baron play. I'm just trying to zone the Viego here. The damage on Aesol on Baron isn't really that good, so you're better off just zoning them, which is what I'm doing, trying to dodge as many abilities as possible. My star actually hits Ziggs, which gives him the vision of him, so I instantly saw the opportunity, flashed in. I almost died, but it was a pretty solid kill. See that Trinimir is trying to chase me down. I Everfrost him, lock him down, and I'm out. And that was enough for my Jinx to pop off, get a triple kill. In my opinion, I think that blue team could have played that fight a little bit better. If Ziggs got more, like maybe like 2 more Qs onto my team, they probably would have won that fight, but luckily we won. So I do grab my Mejai's here, which is pretty nice. And I also sold my corrupting pot. I think I get an elixir. I'm actually just gonna go for Shadow Flame. As you can see, my team shoving down the mid lane. This was actually a really interesting way to end the game. The game's actually going to end like right now. So we push the inhib, right? We have Baron, like, okay, we can reset. We're sitting on a lot of gold, and they decide to just back, which I definitely respect. But I see a Q opportunity here, and I barrel it down mid and catch out 2. Catch the Everfrost, catch the R. Ziggs gets absolutely popped. I pop the Zonya so they don't have enough time to burst me. Yone also ints in. The flash doesn't come out for Karma. Jinx straight up destroys them, runs them down, and it was actually enough for end the game. So that's a little cheese thing to do with Aesol. Just if your team is backing off from the initial push, just EQ down the mid lane or whatever lane they pushed in, and normally players just like they follow your team like out for some reason, and that's a pretty good opportunity to get a big star. That makes sense. But as you can see, We have 14 death timer onto the Yone, 8 seconds up for Ziggs, but we're just doing too much damage. We have Baron, and that's going to be it for the video, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I've been streaming every single day, and I'm going to push out more content, and I hope you guys enjoy this type of analysis video. Let me know if you like this better than my live commentaries, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.